talk, no more waiting on a sign. The lights are up and it's showtime. No more talk, no more waiting on a sign. The lights are up and it's showtime. Showtime. Go kid go. Go kid go. Go kid go. Go kid go. It's one fine mess. It's a one fine mess. It's one fine mess that you got yourself in. Day to die, a debt you can't deny. You say you're fully alive, but who is it you want to be? There'll be a day to die, a debt you can't deny. You say you're fully alive, but who is it you want to be? Go, go kid go. It's one fine mess. It's a one fine mess. It's one fine mess that you got yourself in. There'll be a day to die, a debt you can't deny. You say you're fully alive, but who is it you want to be? There'll be a day to die, a debt you can't deny.
It takes your mind and your thoughts and your eyes and your smell. It takes it all.
Who is it you want to be? Who is it you want to be? Who is it you want to be? No more talk, no more waiting on a sign. The lights are up and it's showtime. No more talk, no more waiting on a sign. The lights are up and it's showtime. Showtime.
Vikings versus Broncos.
No more waiting on a sign. The lights are up and it's showtime. No more talk, no more waiting on a sign. The lights are up and it's showtime. Showtime.
Vikings versus Broncos. Okay, now if we can get just to us. Oh, I gotta figure this out so this works. Let's see. Default scene. Let's go. New scene. There we go. Welcome to Good Morning Gallahorn in the Raw. This time with Dave and Ted over here as we wait on Drew. Drew had some business stuff to take care of. Ted, how you doing tonight? This afternoon?
Good, let's go.
Let's go.
If I was any better, I'd be against the law.
Ah, good. What did you think of that Vikings victory?
It's a win, boring win, but a win. And I'll take a boring win over an exciting loss like we saw with the Saints at the end of that 49ers game.
That was a heck of a finish. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And obviously defense didn't plan on showing up for either team on that game.
And one of the reasons I thought it was kind of boring is because it the score was fairly low, 20-7, but I thought the Vikings had control of the game the entire time. There was not one time I thought, geez, I think the Vikings might be in trouble. They seemed, and they didn't score a lot early, but the defense really showed up big. The offense got points, and they didn't. Not all of their drives ended in points, but they didn't go 3 and out either. And I thought that was a big part of today's improvement as well. So, yeah, it was kind of boring. I mean, like midway through the third quarter, I almost fell asleep, and I got 2 of my grandsons here, and I'm kind of watching them. So, yeah, it was just a win. It's a win, and wins are hard to come by in the NFL. I say it almost every week that the Vikings do win a game. But it's much better to win and keep pace with Green Bay, who struggled today against the Washington Redskins. So, yeah, I'll take it any day of the week.
Oh, yes. And in the second half, they obviously played not to lose, which drives us as fans absolutely batshit crazy. But they didn't lose, and they only gave up that final score in garbage time towards the end. The defense absolutely looked fantastic today. Whether did you notice that Xavier Rhodes was benched for the first half and Hughes was playing?
I did.
That was a statement.
I'm glad to see that that happened. I mean, it was definitely a message was sent to Rhodes, and I thought Mike Hughes played very good football early. He had a couple of pass breakups. He looked pretty good on a couple punt returns, and then they brought Rhodes in, and then and then Rhodes came in, and I thought Rhodes did okay. I mean, the defense as a whole played very good football today, and then on that Harrison Smith interception, I think it was Rhodes. It looked like he twisted his ankle. I don't think it was a.
I thought it was a thigh bruise.
It looked. I mean, if you look at the replay, we'll find out.
We'll find out. It was one of the two.
Yeah. Drew Bunting.
There he is, Drew, the man Bunting, Nostradrewski, who called at least 4 sacks and got it.
Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Yep.
You can see me too?
And we can see you.
Wow.
Hear me.
Drew, welcome to the live show.
What's going on, guys?
Not much. What did you think of those?
I was putting kilos away. Sorry.
What did you think of those 4 sacks you called?
Well, I called for 4 sacks and then 2 turnovers. So I don't know if did we end up getting 4? I thought we had 3.
No, we had 4.
Oh, we had 1.
I thought they had 5 sacks.
Hunter they may have had 5. Hunter had 3. Griffin had 1,
and then I think somebody was it Odenigbo? Somebody else had 1.
Gotta look. You guys talk while I look.
Sure. So cool. we kind of remember our red flag challenge in the preview show. We said you said something about the Vikings getting sacks and turnovers. I said something about the Vikings coaches making really good decisions. And Dave, what was your red flag challenge?
Defense communicated.
And I think all 3 of those things happened today. It's like they watch our show.
Yes, it is exactly like they watch our show.
Let's just keep telling ourselves that. No, we were all pretty close on that. I will agree. That was we kind of tamed it on the spicy hot takes, but I think the defense got back on track today. And you could say it was a 3rd-string quarterback, and you could say it's the Lions, but it's an NFL team. NFL teams are, it's an NFL team. You got to play it out. So I was pretty impressed with how the defense came out today.
Well, that and that 3rd-string quarterback, like we also mentioned in the preview show,
threw
for 280 yards against the Bears defense last week. So, and the Lions in recent years, Kenny Golladay and Danny Amendola, they've had good games against the Vikings in the past. So it was nice to see the Vikings defense start the game strong. They went, I think, 3 and out the first series. I'd have to relook. but they had a shutout until late in the fourth quarter when the game was well decided. So I liked it. I was telling Dave right before you came on that it was a boring game, but I'll take a boring win over an exciting loss like we saw with the 49ers Saints finish today, any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We had to take care of business, and we got it done. I can't really find a lot of thumbs down about this game. Maybe the only thing was that third quarter offense. And I know,
they were in their play to not lose mode, which drives us all crazy.
I would like to be a little more aggressive. I know Ted and I kind of look at that differently. That doesn't really bother him as much as it bothers me. Well, probably not a lot of things. I'm a Michigan fan. A lot of shit bothers me. But I was watching the game with Kyle from his bed. We set up a TV here at the house with the laptop pointed towards my TV so Kyle could watch it from the hospital. It was pretty cool, dude.
Oh, that was awesome. That's very nice of you.
So we were kind of talking back and forth when the third quarter started. We had the 3 and out. Then we had the 3 and out. Then we had a 1 first down and out. And then we had another out. And we're going, this is why we don't win 4. Can we win the game 45-0? I mean,
yeah.
But it didn't hurt us. So I don't want to sound like I'm just like bad Drew ripping on the team or anything. But that kind of bothered me.
I really thought. I agree with you there, Drew. It's 17-0 at halftime. We've seen, heck, the Vikings did it this year. 17-0 at halftime in the NFL is not an insurmountable lead by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
And I thought the Vikings really blew an opportunity to come out. They got the ball to start the second half because, they never received the opening kick. and go down the field and if they'd have gotten the touchdown there and just the game was over, but you never want to give a team that struggles
a little
like
bit
that
of hope.
A bit of hope, exactly. Because the next thing you know, hey, Detroit gets a fluky play and they're in the end zone, and then the offense goes 3 and out, and the next thing you know, you got yourself a football game. Like you said, it didn't happen, but I thought the Vikings missed an opportunity to really put the game out of reach early in the third quarter.
That is exactly right. I mean, why even Detroit wasn't moving the ball? I mean, it didn't hurt us because Detroit wasn't moving the ball. You put a better offense out there, and that 17-0 lead is gone. And it's not the 3 and outs. I know 3 and outs happen, guys, but those plays, the first 9 plays of the second half were awful. Just awful plays.
And there was one, it was 3rd and 10.
Oh.
I can't remember, it was the second or third series of the third quarter. It was 3rd and 10, and the Vikings ran it to the outside. I'm like,
right.
It just felt like Zimmer said, well, the Lions offense isn't going to do anything, and until they prove to me they can, I'm just going to eat the clock and get out of here with a win.
And that's what he did.
I don't think you play it like that.
I thought it was too early going to that. I really did. I thought they really still needed to be a little bit aggressive. I thought the Vikings offensive line did, for the most part. I know Cousins was sacked once, but I thought for the most part they did a textbook job of setting up the perfect professional NFL pocket for him to throw in all day. I mean, the Lions were getting very little rush on him, and I just thought they could have been a little bit more aggressive throwing the football down the field.
We have a watcher, Rhino, says we need a dominating win like today. Hopefully it gives the defense a little momentum going into the game in Carson next week, which he will be attending, the one against the LA Chargers. Do you think this game helped our defense?
I do, yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Drew.
It's certainly better to play better to go into another game to come off what we went off Monday night. The Vikings showed a lot of really good things on defense today. I thought they pressured more. I thought their intensity was a little more. I think they were rallying to the football a little more, and it just seemed, like I said, overall, I was pretty happy with the performance of the defense. So I think they only had like 100 yards going into the last quarter, right? I mean, we shut them down kind of, but that's a step forward in the right direction. I don't think they're there yet.
We did get 5 sacks, by the way, 3 for Hunter, 1 for Griffin, and 1 for Jaleel Johnson.
It was Jaleel Johnson that got the sack. Okay.
That's as many sacks, Ted, as we've had in the last 3 games. 5.
Well, and the thing with the Viking sacks today, the one thing, did you see Hunter set an NFL record for most sack, youngest player
to hit
with 50 sacks in the history of the NFL on his first sack today. Like, that is, and I don't know if you guys saw the graphic of guys he beat out, but we're talking guys like J.J. Watt, Just
I did see
elite,
that.
elite players in the NFL. So yeah, that was a great day for Hunter too, who's going to be a blue chip stock, by the way,
Good.
in case anybody was wondering.
He should be. Colquitt should be another one.
I don't want to see Ham running on 3rd and 1 anymore. Sorry, guys. I'm done with that.
It kind of reminded me of Matt Asiata.
You know, when
Years ago.
that was, you know, I don't know. I don't want to bring up the bad parts of the game. Let's talk about that. When you have a
Well, you
second
want to talk about running backs.
yard line, I mean, that really frustrating drive, man. That was then we had the false start when I texted you. I was like, but you know, it's waves. It comes in waves, comes and goes. But we got the win and did what we had to do.
You want to
I will say that play you're talking about when they had, it was what, 3rd and 1 from the 4 or 4th and 1 from the 4, and they decided to go for it, which I love the call.
And we froze. Where's everybody?
Right here.
I'm right here.
Okay. He came back. He got a boop. It's got to be Skype, solar storms, or something. You went 4th and 1 from the 1, and we're froze again. What the heck is going on? Must be the Russians or something trying to block our signal. Because we are still live, going out, and you guys are frozen. Whoa. Not good. And it's frozen on the Skype end. Wow. All right. Well, what I was going to talk about was Madison and how good Madison was running today. And I love that hurdle. Absolutely. Nobody saw it. And his attitude when he runs, I just absolutely love it. I would like to see more people run like that. Oh, I love this technical problems. Oh, and there they go. Skype was the one that bit the big one. It is Skype, the people. But we are still here. We'll try again. No problem, because we are not finished. Hey, there we go.
Hey, you're back.
I have no idea what's going on, other than I kept broadcasting over Ecamm. You guys dropped out, but you kept in touch with Skype. So it's got to be some Russian or Chinese plot to keep the
As long as
best,
the FBI's after you, not me.
keep the best post-game show on the air, off the air.
NSA's looking in on this 3-way call right now.
I'm sure.
What were you saying, Ted, about that first drive in the 3rd?
No, I agree with you. I really thought that was – I couldn't agree more with what you said. I really thought this is the opportunity where you go up 17-0. They scored right before halftime, and Zimmer always preaches scoring right before halftime and then coming out, getting the ball to open the second half and going down and scoring is a huge swing in the game for the team that can do that. I'm very surprised that he didn't do that. I thought they went way too conservative, way too early. Because – you know, they want to concentrate on running the ball, and the Vikings running game was okay, but both Madison and Cook only averaged just over 3 yards a carry. There wasn't a lot there for them, and I thought with the way they were running the ball early, they were getting some yards. At least Cook was early, getting some yards in chunks, and that kind of just went away. And they had, 120 some yards rushing on a 3-point.
For the way this game was, first off, for me, it was about the defense. Everybody's been harping on the defense, been up their ass, giving them shit. Was a defensive. How the defense came out of this game is the most important thing. Offensively, it felt really sluggish. Even though it seemed like we were putting up a lot of stats, and then I look at the score and it's 10-0. And I'm going, this thing should be like 24-0.
I thought the first half they were pretty good. They didn't do a lot of 3-and-outs. They didn't punt.
Oh,
they were able to. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say they're moving the ball, but they weren't getting any points out of it.
Yeah.
And there we go again. What is this? It's got to be solar storms, something.
You can't have multiple 3-and-out drives either. And I thought the Vikings offense, I would have preferred more scores, but at least they were able to get some first downs and keep the Lions in unfavorable field position. So that I'll take that. That's fine.
I agree with that. I agree. It's just, when you're playing well and you're moving the ball and you're getting first downs and you're piling up 250 yards in the first half, you'd like to see more than, but they did make that last drive with a minute left. I thought that was kind of the turning point of the game. I was expected to get in field goal range, and then we hit that long pass to Diggs. And I was telling Kyle, I go, if we come out of this with a touchdown, we kind of cheated that last drive.
I would argue that was the best 2-minute drive of the Mike Zimmer era.
Really?
I think so. I mean, because how many times do you see on first down in a situation very similar, you'll see Cousins hit Rudolph or maybe Irv Smith or Cook or somebody over the middle for 10 or 11 yards, and instead of calling a timeout, they run up to the line and burn like an extra 20 seconds of clock, and you're like, what are you doing? And now they've taken a touchdown pretty much off the table unless it's a big fluky play, and they have to kick for a field goal. I thought they did a great job of managing the clock. I thought they did a great job of using their timeouts, and they did a phenomenal job play calling. Stefanski dialing up the big play to Diggs on a great catch and to get them down to the 4, the 5, whatever it was, to get them in position for Cook to score.
It was a good win, good solid win. They didn't, it seemed it could have been a lot worse than it seemed. And you could call it a boring game, even though no Viking games are really boring. But they kind of took care of business and didn't have any implosion times. They had a few too many of these, but I hate these. So.
And there were some that weren't called too that I was screaming for, holding on Diggs when Kirk Cousins just bombed it and it went way over, and people were like, "Wait a minute, what?" And then you look back at the replay, and Diggs was literally hugged, and there was no called holding, defensive holding on that one.
I thought that was the most poorly officiated game this year that I've seen the Vikings play.
Walt Coleman's crew sucked.
Yep.
I mean, not only it seemed like when they would come in and huddle, it'd be like Walt would be going to his guys and be like, "All right, Minnesota's getting a little momentum. Let's throw a flag, make them punt." Or, "Hey, Detroit's got something going here. Let's throw a flag." And then they had those two completely blown calls. The one call that Zimmer challenged. Uh-huh. I can't remember who caught it for the Lions, but it was a clear drop.
Hit the ground.
And the side judge was looking right at the play. How did you not see the ball drop and hit the ground? And there was another play that they blew for the Lions. They were going on that long drive that ended up in the Prater knuckleball.
Knuckleball. That was a banana slice. Woo!
Tell the guy, goes, "Is there a 400-mile-per-hour wind that just blew through? What the hell?"
They just opened the doors at that point in time.
That great son of a bitch has made like 80 field goals against us. So screw him. Glad we missed it.
But if you guys remember on that drive, a Detroit guy caught a ball. I mean, he was clearly in bounds, and they called it a no catch, and it had to be reviewed. You remember that play? I mean, that was just basic incompetence, man. I'm so frustrated with the officiating in the NFL, and
it's clearly in bounds.
Yeah, oh, he was clearly in bounds. Yeah.
All I'm thinking is whack, whack, whack. Here we go with the 20-minute delay over something that should have never,
and it should have taken 5 minutes to review. Oh yeah, we blew that one. Okay, but no. So
no, I don't. The two plays that you just mentioned, they're looking right at him, dude.
Yeah.
Coleman.
Those are basic calls referees need to make.
Walt Coleman's got the highest percentage of penalties per cruise in the NFL. Yeah. They call around 20 a game, so they like doing it.
I mean, just here's lean in and send a little tip to the National Football League. We're not here to watch a referee call penalties. We're here to watch people play football. You're not it, Walt Coleman. Put the flag up.
Absolutely. Hey, we got William watching for us, and he said, "This is the most stress-free game he has watched all season."
Yeah, it was.
Enjoy it. We get like one every 3 years.
Maybe this is what it's like to be a Patriots fan every week, beating the Jets and the Dolphins.
It was, we may have gotten frustrated in the second half because they were playing not to lose. But yes, it was a relatively stress-free game after they went up and the Vikings were walking all over Detroit. We just wish, at least I wish, I would love to see that 45 donut game that we know they could do, but for some reason, Zimmer never wants to.
You know, you got to have that. I was kind of rooting for the shutout merely because, you know, I know you got to let them have the yards and you're playing the clock and you're playing some prevent and you're letting them catch it and you're going to tackle them and keep the clock running. Yada, yada, I understand that. But when you're going for the shutout, I think they should just run the same blitzing defense. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Let them try to get the shutout. Don't put them in a position where you're going to. Shutouts are big deals to guys, man.
Well, how about speaking of blitzing and being aggressive? How about being aggressive to start the game for the Vikings defense on a young inexperienced quarterback? I fully expected them to just kind of sit back in a soft coverage zone and just see what he was able to do before they made corrections. They went, to the Vikings' credit, they went right after him and got him off his game early, and they sacked him. First series, that's when Danielle Hunter got his first sack.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was just a great aggressive game plan by the Vikings defense. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think they need to see more of it.
Let me ask you guys this. We talked a lot last show about the interior of the defensive line and not getting any push against Seattle. Did you see a better push this week against?
Yes.
I did, yeah.
Johnson play a little better, but
So
how do you
did
guys?
Linval.
Yeah,
Okay.
Joseph. I thought Joseph had a decent game. I saw him making a couple of stops for little to no gain in the running game 3 or 4 times. So yeah, I thought the interior defensive line played a lot better today than they did last week at Seattle.
When Blau rolled left and Daniil was chasing him, and Daniil ended up with a sack where he shoved him to the ground, you watched Linval come up and keep him from going around the outside, and then Linval took the angle while Daniil kept chasing him, and you could see in Blau's mind the little thought bubble going, damn, this guy's fast. But the only reason Blau went backwards or parallel line of scrimmage and aft was because Linval was there and had already penetrated and caused problems. That was sweet.
That's a good eye. I actually rewound that to look at what Joseph was doing because he wasn't running upfield, and I go, what is he doing? But he was protecting that backside. I thought it's really cool you point that out because those are things that the defense usually doesn't get any praise for.
Mm-hmm. No, he did exactly what was right.
That middle pressure is vital, guys. We got to have that week in and week out.
Especially when you have defensive ends as good as Hunter and Griffin, because if you can push the middle and force a guy outside, unless he's a really athletic guy like Russell Wilson, you're 9 times out of 10 you're going to get a sack, and that's exactly what happened today. It was a great effort by the Vikings defense. As maligned as they have deservedly been over the last 6 or 7 weeks, the quote unquote old Zimmer defense showed up today, big time.
Yes.
I loved it. Love to see it.
Still not to see like Scarborough Fair getting those 5-yard runs on first down.
No, I wasn't a big fan
I like
of
to
it.
cut down on that. I don't want to piss in the parade or anything, but there's still a little bit of that too much going on. But overall, this was a great bounce back game for the Vikings defense.
Yes, and if they can keep this up going in the next 3 games and then rolling into the playoffs, we're
Don't
where
say
we
it.
want to be.
No, we're not where we want to be. We want to be winning.
And there we go. Solar flares again. Poosh. Taking out the satellite. Skype connection lost. Reconnecting. Yes, that's a Skype issue. That's what's popping up on my screen. The
What's wrong with the Skype thing, man? Why does it have so many flaws?
It literally could be solar weather.
Who owns it? Shea
Where
Powell?
is the Grand Poobah Christopher Gates? I know he's at work today, but he could tell us about solar weather.
Okay, hey, Dave, you heard of a theory called Occam's razor?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the most probable cause, or what's the most simple explanation is the most probable cause, or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah. You can say solar flares, or you can say dude running the computer really isn't sure what's going on.
It could be, except for I've
Or
got
it's solar flares.
400 gig down and
Solar
over
flares
40
launched by
gigs
the
up.
Illuminati, funded by the Bilderberg Group,
The
controlled by the
Bilderbergs.
NSA.
Yes, the Bilderbergs. And the NSA is watching us.
What? We were, what, 8-7-1 last year, so damn, Zimmer's going to get an 8-year contract out of this.
Hey, we're 9-4, tying the best win record for Kirk Cousins with 9 wins.
Really?
And then Kirk Cousins, I didn't think did anything extraordinarily upsetting. Right? He played well for the most part. Hey,
Sounded like Dan
Cheers.
Pastorini at the line of scrimmage. Extremely.
Dan Pastorini. There's a name.
Dude, I had a really tiny conversation with Pastorini the other day, talking on
What?
Ed White's thing. Yeah.
How? How do you know all these guys?
No, Ed White knows them. He knows a bunch of old football players, and they always comment on Ed's artwork or whatever. And I saw
Ed's
said
artwork is
Dante
good.
Pastorini, and I'm going, there can only be one Dante Pastorini, right? That guy was a fantastic quarterback, man.
He was.
Right.
Yeah,
He
he
was
was.
a good quarterback. We always
Wait.
bring up the 70s.
William asked us a question. Did Zimmer's defense really show up, or were they just not tested?
I think they showed up. I mean,
Showed up.
going into the game, what was the stats for the Lions offense coming into the game? They were really good offense, weren't they? It was just the defense was terrible.
They were 7th in the league.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys have the numbers in front of you. The Lions averaged 377 yards a game. What did they get today?
Today, they had 161. Let's see. Blau had 205. Team 161 on passing. Rushing, they had 70 total. So they had a grand total of 231.
Which is way the hell less than 377.
And Detroit only averaged 3.4 yards per play.
Mhm.
They ran 67 plays. They had 231 total yards on 12 drives. That's going, no matter who you're playing.
Right?
Sure, and like I said, they were 7th in the league offensively coming into this week. So,
What I think is impressive is I can do math after drinking multiple IPAs.
Yeah, multiple IPAs, but it was solar flares that knocked you off the line. Okay.
That's right. You'll see it. And there we go again. Yes, I love it. It's Skype that's bopping off. Anyways,
you got to get rid of Skype, dude.
well, the Skype is what we use. However, with that, it's about time we wrap this puppy up. What are your final words for this game, Ted?
Good win. I'm glad. It was nice to watch the Vikings win a boring game and be in control. I thought from the opening kickoff to the final gun, just need to keep the defense where they are. This is, we said the last 4 games are going to tell us what this team is made of and how people are going to perform. And I thought the defense for the entire game and the offense for a good part of the game both played very well, and they played complementary football. And if we can just keep this going through these last 3 games, it's going to be an interesting run in the postseason to see what they can do.
Yeah, next week we've got LA Chargers in LA at the
That's the trap game.
afternoon game, the 3:25 Central Time slot.
Big trap written all over, but we'll discuss that during the week.
Yes, we will.
Drew, what last words do
You know
you
what?
have?
I really don't have anything to add after that fine soliloquy by Ted Glover to wrap up the show, but I will say 4 words. Blau, blau, Viking cow.
Skol Vikings! I want
That's on the
to
flip.
thank everybody for joining us. We'll see you on Monday. Watch Daily Norseman for all your favorite content. And Vikings win! Vikings win! Yeah, baby!
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for
Hey,
watching.
thanks for waiting for me, guys. Sorry about that.